Do you ever think to yourself as a manga collector like, oh, March, a lot of things are getting delayed. I'm probably not going to buy as much this month. But then all of a sudden the world says, Barnes & Noble buy one get one free manga sale. Books A Million, 25% off box sets. And then also just the usual. That's exactly what we got here today. Another manga haul this month, March 2023. There are over 50 volumes featured inside this video, so let me know what you got this month or what you like from my haul if you see something you really enjoy. But I'm not gonna dilly-dally any longer because I got some manga to showcase. Now the first one I got is a good-sized portion of the 50 volumes, not half of it, but a little close. It's the My Hero Academia box set. This is volumes 1 through 20. Now, even though I mentioned in the beginning the Books A Million 25% off box set sale, this did not come from it. I actually got this off of Amazon, where I literally got this, I think like 60 bucks, $3 per volume of manga. I started watching My Hero Academia with a friend of mine, but I since haven't done it, and I've actually seen some clips from like season 6 and the trailer for season 7 that recently just announced of the anime, and so I'm kind of like really ready to jump into this. I mean, well, I committed to it, and if I don't like it, you know what, I could just get rid of it because I got all 20 volumes right here. If you don't know, it's kind of a superhero shonen story where all of these characters have specific powers, specific quirks, I think they call them, and our mediocre, bland, average Joe, Deku, he's on a journey to become one of the strongest. I'll kind of just like leave it at that. Gotta remember how to do this, cause it's been 100 years since I made a video, cause work's been busy. You know, I spend more money on books when I can just buy a better setup. Now, before we get into the usual like new releases that come out, as usual, what I do in my manga hauls, although this didn't necessarily come in March, this actually came in February, late February, I believe. I actually got the first volume of Ruri Dragon, the Japanese copy, and for those of you that are longtime members of the channel or even like active followers on Twitter and stuff, you'll know that I absolutely love Ruri Dragon, and I was super sad when it was announced that it was going on hiatus after an incredibly successful first volume. If you want to read this series and the few chapters that are out before it hit hiatus, you can go on like the Viz Media app, Shonen Jump app. It's really fun. It's really cool. I love it. If you don't know what this is about, it's about a high school girl finds out that she's like part dragon. She's getting dragon parts, you know, she's got horns, breathes fire. And so it's like living a high school life, kind of like a slow, but it's just a fun, cool fantasy setting. And because I loved the chapters so much, reading them online, and then the series went on hiatus, I decided to pick up the Japanese version of volume 1, because who knows, we'll probably never get it unless the series comes back and is in full force again. It also came with this really cute like card thing. I just wanted to show that off. Alrighty, it's time for the new releases, and first we're gonna go with Black Clover volume 32. So I got a couple other volumes with Black Clover 32 in the series, including 27, 28, and 29. I found these 3 volumes right here during the Barnes & Noble buy one get one 50% off sale. Felt like it was really good to just get some of the Black Clover volumes that I needed in order to be up to date in the series. All I need is volume 30 now, which I actually just 5 minutes ago just ordered off of Right Stuff Anime in my weekly order, so I'm very excited. If you do not know, this is a story, you know, very similar to the other shonens like Naruto, My Hero Academia, where these nobody kind of kids get this like superpower, this super ultra cool power, and this is in a fantasy setting. So many good characters in this series, such great art and action. I absolutely love it. A lot of people I did see about this volume though were upset about this character right here being in the cover because they felt like it would be so sick, and I agree kind of that it would be so sick if he just like wasn't in it, but I don't mind it. I haven't read up to this point yet, so I don't know exactly what happens, but hopefully, you know, with the Wizard King movie coming out, and even though I don't think that's non-canonical, and by the time the series starts going again with episodes and stuff, hopefully I catch up to that point. I love Black Clover. Speaking of another series I love, off, I got the third volume in Danmachi Tour. Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Series 2? This is basically like, if you want to know what the 2 is, this is basically like season 2 of the anime, essentially. The manga adaptation is much behind the anime. I think this is in season 2 right now of adapting the manga with Yen Press, these beautiful, beautiful covers and well done pages. But season 4 of the anime just finished, which I actually think personally, recency bias maybe, season 4 of the anime is the best of the series. So if you haven't caught up, please do so. But in order to finish out the manga to get completely up to date as of right now, I also got volume 8 of Danmachi. This was the last one that I needed in order to be complete. All 13 volumes of the manga that have released right now in the main series, because there's a bunch of spin-off series, including this novel series right here, Familia Chronicle, episode Lu in Danmachi. So this is a novel series. This is like a side story type thing. This is the first one of the 2 that are currently out right now, Familia Chronicle episode Lu. The second one is of Freya. I already own Freya, so I'm caught up on this. I decided, you know, after watching season 4 and finishing that season of the anime, I absolutely love this character, the character that this side story is about. And that season gave a lot of depth into her character, a lot of showcasing of who she was and what she went through up to that point in the series. And so I learned to absolutely love her, adore her. I needed this. But I also needed a couple other side story novel volumes. This is Sword Oratoria 8 and 9 in the Sword Oratoria series. I think volume 12 recently just got like announced in Japan, so it'll be a while before we get that. But now I have 9 of the 11 volumes, or maybe 12 is out in the US. I know a new one just got announced in Japan. I can't remember if it's 12 or 13. I think it's 12. Don't quote me on it, but I am one step closer. Sword Oratoria was actually the first series of manga and light novels that I picked up at a bookstore. It's what started the adventure. I love side stories, diving into incredibly cool supporting characters and learning more about them. A's and her familia, and it's just great. I mean, if you love Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon or Danmachi, if you love that, then you'll love these side stories that I'm showcasing right now. And you know what, let's keep going though, because I could talk about the series all day. A series that maybe other anime fans will be talking about soon is Blue Box. I got volume 3 right here. This is a romance sports series, and I read volume 1. I haven't read volume 2 yet. I'm a little bit behind on my TBR because of work. I really enjoyed volume 1 of this series. I thought it was cool and a little bit different in terms of how I would have thought a typical volume 1 would have been in a sports romantic comedy type of setting. But I'm excited to see how it continues, especially because our main character is a badminton player, and you don't really see any like badminton, especially here in the United States. You don't get much badminton, you know, you just see like football, basketball, baseball, stuff like that. So it's cool to get a little bit of refreshment on our main character who plays a sport that I'm not really used to. I think she plays basketball if memory serves me correctly. She's still kind of cool though. If you don't want sports and maybe you just want the comedy side, here's a seinen rom-com for you. Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible volume 6. So I have not caught up in Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible in reading, but a very good friend, Crystal, on Twitter just raves about the series and said that I need to keep reading it. You know, volume 2, 3, I was like, you know, it's good, it's fun. But I was like, is it really worth collecting more? But they were telling me yes, don't worry. So I'm gonna keep reading. It's about this guy who's basically non-existent. He is not noticeable at all. Nobody ever notices him no matter what, and she notices him though, and you can kind of tell where it goes from there in terms of their relationship. But she really just wants to embarrass him, make him be noticed, showcase him and stuff because she really likes him. So it's very cute. The art is really good as well, and I think this just wrapped up recently in Japan, so the end is near for this series. I think it was like 11 volumes or something like that, so we're about halfway in terms of getting the English releases, the US releases, and hopefully it's good. I mean, I enjoy it. I've heard decent things about the anime as well, which I haven't checked out yet, but maybe maybe soon. One anime that's airing this spring that I'm so excited about, Mashle Magic and Muscles Volume 11. A lot of people will tell you this, and you've probably heard this before. Harry Potter, but so much funnier. This is the cream puff loving Mashle in his adventure. Be at the top, and he's got no magic skills whatsoever. So just using his muscles in here. It's so funny. It's so good. I can't wait for the jokes in the anime that's going to be airing here in the next couple weeks at the time of this recording. I believe the ending song is like titled like Cream Puffs or something like that. It's got cream puffs in the word. So I'm super excited for it, and hopefully the airing of the anime doesn't make it difficult for other people if you want to get in this series, because usually I see this series pretty populated, and now 11 volumes out right now. So make sure to go start getting it now if you want it, or you know, you could probably just wait for the eventual box set, so long as the anime is not a complete failure. One series that's definitely not a complete failure, it is Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 19. I actually got this like a week early for some reason on Barnes & Noble bookshelves. Got this as part of the buy one get one 50% off sale because it was so early, and I was actually really excited. I really need Jujutsu Kaisen anime to come back. I saw that season 2 drop the trailer. I'm very excited for it. I'm super excited to get back in Gojo and Seto's life over at Jujutsu High. And Geiji Akutami is just incredible. I mean, I see art about this all the time. I see some panels and stuff like that. Not spoilers, but I see stuff about this all the time. Absolutely love it. If you don't know what this is, boy eats finger, gets super powered, turns out to be super talented and awesome, and there are bad guys everywhere. That's basically the synopsis at this point. But trust me, if you like the stuff that I was showing earlier, My Hero Academia, if you like Black Clover as well, Danmachi even, you'll probably enjoy this series. I think it's a little bit darker than some of the other ones. Well, My Hero season 6, pretty dark. But anyways, it's a really cool volume. Excited to get into it. I haven't caught up in reading it yet, so who knows? But you don't want the heavy stuff. You just want the lighter things in life, the lighter adventures. Banished from the Heroes Party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside, Volume 8. Guy was in the Heroes Party. He got kicked out of the Heroes Party, and now he lives in the countryside in a very quiet side, in a quiet town, in a quiet life with his absolutely beautiful, stunning girlfriend, wife, partner, person. I watched the anime adaptation for this series, and I absolutely loved it. And I started reading the novels, and the novels I think do a pretty good job as well conveying the message and building the world and the lifestyle that these characters live in. I think Zappone has done an excellent job writing about this series in a novelist perspective, and the illustrations by Yasumo has just been terrific as well. It's great. I'm still reading the volumes. I think I'm on volume 3. Yeah, volume 3 right now, currently reading, which is not ahead of the anime and where it's at. So I kind of know what's going to happen at the end of volume 3, and kind of surprising as well that it's adapted so many volumes. But either way, it's a very beautiful read. It's a very fun read. It's relaxing as well. So if you want something that's not necessarily at the edge of your seat or super dark, you just want something quiet, fun, soothing, this is a series for you. Okay, but maybe we want to go back to like the seinen dark type thing. Mushoku Tensei Volume 21. I saw the trailer for Mushoku Tensei Season 2, the anime and the university arc. I am so freaking excited to watch it. I love Mushoku Tensei. It's one of actually my favorite isekai of all time, and even fantasy series as well. I just love the fact that Rudius Greyrat is a character that you don't like, especially in the beginning. He's not a character that you like, but his character development throughout the series, and even though, you know, we're not towards the end yet, and even in the first season, you know, the development that he had as a person, as a human being in this story was a big jump and a really good jump, and I'm super excited to continue this, to read it. I am up to date on this as well, so volume 21. Now I have 21 volumes of Mushoku Tensei, and I will keep going, especially because I think the ending happened in Japan already. It's already concluded. We'll see. I think it's like 26 volumes in total. Not 100% sure, but I know a lot of people are excited about it. A lot of people are happy with the series overall and what it has done, and I can't wait to not only read it and experience it, but to also watch it and experience it in its adaptation, in its beauty. It's just stunning animation. Another good animated series, mostly because it's all CGI, and I think it's really well done out of the CGI anime that I watch, The Duke of Death and His Maid Volume 5. I love this series. Teasing rom-com, absolutely funny, absolutely fun, very cool actually as well, and it's like fantasy aspect where our main character, male, has a curse, and if he touches something, it dies, and he's, you know, in love pretty much with his maid that he has in his castle, his manor that his family sent him off to because he's cursed, and she loves teasing him. She loves him. Let's just be clear. And so it's their story together without like holding hands, without kissing, without, you know, doing taxes. You should do your taxes this season. And it's just a lot of fun. I've been raving on this series for a long time when it first started airing on Funimation, and I really think a lot of people shot it down early because they were like, oh, CGI anime. But bro, get over yourself. Read the manga as well. It's very cute. It's very fun. It does have a little bit of like fan servicey parts in some aspects. So if you could take a little healthy helping of that, then I think you'll be fine in this series. It's not anything like outrageous or stuff that you're probably not used to. It's a really good read, and it's worth your buy, to be honest. One thing that I know is worth your buy, and that I've actually already read because I read the chapters online when they release, it's Spy Family Volume 9. Man, these Spy Family volumes come out, they take so long to come out, in my opinion. Now, I don't know anything about publishing and creating and editing and things like that and translations. This is actually, I feel like, one of the thicker volumes of Spy Family that has come out in the series, and it's 9 volumes of the manga that has been translated and released in the United States. I think volume 11 cover art was just released. Very cool, very fun series. I love where this is going. I can't wait, and I'm actually like really astounded that we're not only getting season 2 starting in December of Spy Family, the anime adaptation, but we're also getting a movie in December that is, I think, is coming out in Japan in December, so it'll be a little bit longer before we get it in the US. It won't be until 2024, I think, but still, nonetheless, a lot of stuff going on in that production team, and they have a lot of good stuff to adapt and create from. If you do not know, think about this family dynamic. A spy, he's meant to save the relations between the East and the West, and to do that, he has to befriend this leader on one of the sides. Well, he adopts a daughter who is the same age as the leader's son, and so they go to school together and, you know, attend the same place. He's just kind of doing it as a secret identity. Well, it turns out in this time period and stuff where this is based off of, he needs a wife as well, and so he goes out and he marries someone just on a whim or as a fake marriage, and they have like a fake family type thing. She's my favorite, but what he doesn't know is that she's secretly an assassin. And so not only do you have a spy as the father, but a assassin as the wife. But the kid that I mentioned earlier, she's a psychic, so she knows that mom is an assassin. She knows that dad is a spy. She thinks it's really cool because she's like 6 years old. And so there's a lot of great stuff in here. Drama, comedy, romance even. There's a lot of great aspects in this series, and it's one of my favorite series of all time. Anybody who's not a stranger to the channel probably remembers that I love this series. It's so good. I absolutely encourage it. It's one of 3 manga series that I actually stay up to date to online reading. So like, that should tell you right there how good it is. But a little more of the unknown that I've heard incredible things about. So I'm going to actually read volume 1 after I'm done recording this. A Condition Called Love. This is volume 2 of this series. Volume 1 came out in January, I believe, and now volume 2 is out. And what does this word mean? ambivalent. This series is about a romantic and kind of, I think she's like a hopeless romantic type of deal in a condition called love. They kind of go on this trial run, and I think it's kind of the journey about how this trial run goes in terms of love, because I mean, it's volume 2 and she's like already inside his code. Like, whoa, big steps here. But I've heard that this shoujo series is so good, and a lot of people have been hyping this up, so I'm excited to get into it and start reading this. Especially now that I have 2 volumes, I get a really good indication if this is something that I want to continue on or not in this. But I've already heard great things about it. I'm sure I'm gonna like it. Let me know how you feel about the series if you've read it, and if you don't really know shoujo and stuff, check out this and a lot of other great shoujos out there, because there's a lot of good shoujos coming out right now. Honey Lemon Soda, Marmalade and Me. Marmalade and Me? It's Marmalade Boy. Another good shoujo on the list is this side story series. So this is the side story to Sasaki and Miyano. It is Hirano and Kagiura, 2 of the kind of supporting characters in the Sasaki to Miyano story. So this is a boy's love. And is there a confession in this volume? I don't know. I haven't read this volume yet. I literally like just got it today. And so we'll see what Shu Harusono has planned for this series. I really enjoy Sasaki and Miyano. It's one of my favorite shoujo, especially I think it's my favorite boys love of all time, and so I'm excited to jump into this. I now have the first 2 volumes of the manga adaptation and then 1 volume of the novel as well, the novel version of this. So I'm deciding what I want to read first, maybe the novel and then go into the manga, because then I can read the words, feel the words, and then read the art and see the art and feel the art and just be warm and fuzzy inside. Because if there's one thing about Sasaki Miyano this series, it's just so cute. One story that really blew me away in its volume 1 was Shy by Yen Press, and so now we have Shy volume 2. This is also a superhero series, just kind of like My Hero, well, not really anything like My Hero Academia actually. Each country has a superhero representative, and Shy is Japan's representative. This is not Shy, this is Russia's representative. As you can probably tell by the vodka, she's really sweet, I promise. Volume 1 was so good in my opinion. In terms of the new series that have come out in 2023 so far, I know we're only a couple months in, but this first part of 2023, I think Shy is the #1 series in my opinion that has come out this year. It was so good. I can't believe now that I have this volume, I'm gonna read this tonight, as well as along with A Condition Called Love. I'm gonna read all my volumes, don't worry, all 800 of them that I still have to read because I'm so behind on my TBR. But this is a great series if you love it. It's got drama, it's got intensity. The art in volume 1 was absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to see if volume 2 follows it up in Bukimi Miki's story. Now the next one on this list is the 3rd volume of Hige Hero. After being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway. I think this is technically listed as a romantic comedy. When I watched the anime and I binged it and I cried and I absolutely loved it, I don't know if I necessarily consider it like a romance. I don't know, it's got this weird in between of like a romance and a family thing. It's not family, I promise. It's not family. But this story is about a man. He gets rejected, right? He shaves and he finds this high school runaway girl on the road. And so he kind of like takes her in, not like a girlfriend, but he takes her in and he tries to like improve life, tries to change her outlook on life and how she acts, how she thinks, and tries to make it like positive, tries to help her life essentially. And I think I won't actually say what happens in the end because then that'd be a spoiler, but it was definitely one that I will recommend to people. It is definitely one that I absolutely love and adore. It's better than Domestic Girlfriend, so I don't know if it's considered a guilty pleasure or not, but I absolutely love Hige Hero. I love this series. I'm up to date on the light novels. I don't have any of the manga yet, but I can't wait to start getting into this and relive the journey that I watched in the anime. That was just so good, and I hope Shime Saba did an excellent job novelizing those words, writing those out, and portraying the feelings along with Buta. I think it's Buta. Boota. It's almost Halloween time. A romance series, though, that's got a lot of people talking as of late is Insomniac's After School Volume 1. This is a brand new series, I believe, by Viz, right? Yeah, Viz. About two kids that are insomniacs and they hang out together. That's pretty much all I know because I haven't read it yet, but this is also kind of a thicker, bigger Volume 1, I will say, by Makoto Ojiro. And I only know a couple people that have actually picked this up, but I've heard decent things, and I've actually seen some of the art and some of the panels, not like the spoiler stuff, but just some kind of nonchalant panels, and it looks like it's done really well. I'm super excited. This also is an anime adaptation, I believe, airing this spring, so I'm kind of curious how I want to do this. If I would just want to speed through Volume 1 and then bam, or if I want to watch the anime and then read the manga. I'm not sure, or read the manga and then watch the anime. I got no idea how I want to do it, but I'm super excited for this. This is one of the anime that I'm actually going to try to watch despite my super busy schedule, which is definitely not as many as it used to be, but you definitely got to make room for some of them, and this one makes the cut. If you do have some extra time, though, you should watch and read Vivy Prototype. This is Volume 3 of the novels. I absolutely love Vivy. Again, one of those anime that just absolutely blew me away, not only with its story, not only with its characters, but also its visuals. It was done so beautifully. And even though a novel kind of takes away that aspect and stuff of art for the most part, it still has an incredible story, and I'm excited to see how it's written out by Tape Nagasuki and Eiji Umehara, because this just is so good. I would encourage you, please read Vivy. I'm on the Vivy hype train. I've always been on the Vivy hype train, at least since I watched it. I didn't watch it when it first came out, a little bit later, but still, I'm on the Vivy hype train. I will stay on the Vivy hype train. Get on the Vivy hype train with me and read Vivy. That's it. Read Vivy. Another series that you should actually read, and I think really flew under the radar when High Dive aired the first season of the anime, The Executioner and Her Way of Life. This is Volume 6, A Casket of Salt. I really like this series. This is like reverse isekai and also Yuri in here, like a sprinkle of Yuri, just a little bit of Yuri, just little crumbs of Yuri in there. It's kind of insane. I'm going to tell you kind of the plot twist in the first 5 minutes of the episode, but she kills people that get isekai'd into the world. This is a story about corruption, about government, finding oneself, almost like coming of age in a sense, of a character that doesn't really know much about herself, and there's a lot of depth inside of her character as well. And Volume 6 is way ahead of where I am currently after watching the anime, so who knows where it's at right now. I do not know, but I know it's getting good because this is a beautiful volume cover. All the covers are really beautiful. None of the covers, I think, show the side character. I think it's all of this main character, which is kind of interesting. You don't see that a lot, but we'll see what Menu and Akari have planned in this adventure. I'm very excited. Get excited for me too, and I got more volumes. Now on to Solo Leveling Volume 6. Solo Leveling, a completed manhwa over in Korea, and people liked it, and an anime is scheduled to come out here soon of this series, and I'm very excited about it. Solo Leveling, these thick volumes in the video game aspect, the powers are great, the art is so good in here, and I'm so excited to continue reading in Volume 6. I don't know what's going to happen at all. I don't know really, what the possibilities are even of this series and where it's going to go in the future, including its ending. So hopefully it goes good. Hopefully I really enjoy it. And if you haven't picked these up, you might want to go get it. I believe Volumes 1 through 5 just got a box set that recently released, and I think I saw it on sale over on like Amazon or something very recently. So make sure to go check it out if you haven't. I very much recommend it. These volumes kind of hard to get, I feel like, because at least in like the Barnes and Nobles that I visit, you don't see a lot of manhwa. And so for a series like Solo Leveling that is popular and is poppin' and about to get an anime adaptation, it's a little bit harder to get these volumes because it's not so populous as something like One Piece or Black Clover or your classic shonens. So go get this series. It's really cool. I like it. Just a couple more volumes volumes to go in here, I promise. Now we're going to move on to the random pickups, because with the buy one get one 50% off sale, you know I had to pick up some random other volumes that I saw, including The Girl from the Other Side volume 6. So there's 12 volumes in this short series, and I am now halfway there. I love this series. I thought it was such a good start to this series. Absolutely love this art style, this kind of gothic dark art style, and this very, I don't even know if it's a quiet story, to be honest. It does a really good job of conveying emotion, secrecy as well, and really just not giving stuff away, I feel like, right away. And I'm super excited to continue reading onto this series, get another one as well. I still gotta watch the anime adaptation though. The OVA, I still gotta watch that, so I should get on it. Moving on to a series that, look, ladies and gents, if you want the Promised Neverland, right, if you want this, I recommend getting the box set, volumes 1 through 20. I think it's already hit on sale on Amazon, so if you buy it on the on sale pre-order, you'll get it at that discounted price when it actually ships and when they charge you. But the Promised Neverland, a 20 volume series, I got volume 14, so the next one in this series. This is a great series. Its manga was great. Its series was great. The anime is not necessarily so great. A lot of people say volume 1 is way better than volume 2. Volume 2 doesn't actually exist, but I'm super excited to keep getting into this because I don't know how it ends. I haven't actually watched the anime adaptation because a lot of people say just read the manga first, just read the manga, make that your first impression. So I've been doing that, and we're going, escaping corruption, overthrowing the government. It's got everything that I want in a series, so it's got to be good, right? Moving on to another shoujo. This is a classic shoujo that I think started publishing in the late 90s and then had a couple animation versions, including the 2019 reboot that I watched and absolutely loved. Fruits Basket Volume 5. This is one of the top shoujo series that a lot of people recommend. It's got a lot of intense stuff inside of it that I think a lot of people will actually enjoy if you haven't gotten into a shoujo before. This is very, very good. This is volume 5 of I think 11 collector's editions, so I still got a little bit to go because the collector's editions are thicker and more expensive. But one thing that I did notice, because like I mentioned, watched the 2019 reboot version of the anime adaptation, it's really interesting to see the art differences of the characters. This is way older. This definitely reminds me of a late 90s, early 2000s art style of shoujo that I've seen, sort of like your Iran High School Host Club, even a little bit, although Maid Sama was later, Maid Sama. But this is one of the classics. It's got a little bit of fantasy in it. It's got a ton of drama in it. It's got romance, and it's really cool too because the romance doesn't even really hit until the end, because I remember going through the series and I was oh, X character's definitely getting with this character, but then all of a sudden the end, I saw X character, instead of hooking up with Y, they hooked up with Z, and I was that actually makes sense, but I didn't see that coming. And so it's a really, really cool series if you haven't gotten into it already. I know Fruits Baskets is a classic. I mean, it's got collector's edition already, so definitely jump on it if you want to get into something shoujo and you want to get something that is good and promised to be good. It's not oh, we'll see if it's good. It's no, it's good. Another series where I go, oh, it's good. It's Re:Zero Starting Life in Another World. This is volume 7 of the light novels. I think there's 21 volumes released now in the light novels, so I'm a third of the way to getting up to date, and I'm not really in a hurry. But I did see that the next season of Re:Zero, the trailer just dropped the other day, and so I am very excited after watching that. I know a lot of people actually were really excited. I think some of my friends that I follow on Twitter that really, really love the series said that they fixed the character designs in some of the characters that they saw in the trailer. So that's really, really cool and very exciting as well, that it looks like the next season of Re:Zero is just going to be that much better. In the first 2 seasons, I think it's the first 2 seasons that have come out, were already really good. So If you do not know this story, you haven't heard me talk about this. ReZero is essentially this kid gets reincarnated into this fantasy world, and every time he dies, he comes back and he starts over essentially at certain points. His power's not really explained why it happens. Nobody else knows that he like reincarnates unless he were to like tell them or something. And so it's insane. I absolutely love it. I read the first volume and I was absolutely astounded about how great the writing was, how great the storytelling was, how cool the characters were too, and how like his power and interaction affects his character in the story and goes through like his actions and stuff. So I've decided to commit even after reading just one volume because I thought it was that good. So you should probably read it too. And the final volume that I got, it took long enough to get this one, volume 4 of To Your Eternity. This is a beautiful, beautiful series I absolutely love. I haven't watched all of season 2 yet of To Your Eternity. I just watched like the first episode and then I got really busy and had to be really selective on what anime that I watch. But Yoshitoki Oima is the creator of a great series that I absolutely love, A Silent Voice. You may have heard of it. And honestly, To Your Eternity hits at that same level as well. It hits on big things. You get attached and then you cry profusely, you get upset, you get mad, crazy things happen. But I love this series. I love the anime and its first season. It was honestly one of my favorite like dramas. Oh god, what year was that? Was that 2021? Time flies. But I highly recommend this series if you have not picked it up already. I think volume 18 is the next one scheduled to release, and I think it comes out this month actually. So definitely go check this out. I've been seeing a lot more of the earlier volumes of To Your Eternity in stock at physical Barnes and Noble places and stuff, and I think you can get most of them online on Right Stuff. So go check it out if you haven't. I really enjoy it. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully now we start having more consistent uploads now that the crossover season is over. Spring break is over as well. God, spring break was just terrible for work. I was so busy and I'm actually still catching up on sleep. And hopefully you enjoyed this series. I got more manga on the way actually. Like I mentioned, just made an order about an hour ago for more books from Right Stuff. And if you want, you can check out my affiliate link and stuff in the description to help support the channel. And if you want to support the channel for free, actually, you can check out these other videos that have popped up on screen. They're great recommendations. I love them. You might too. So I'll see you in the next one. How about that?